Hey everybody, welcome to the Black Diamond Call for Monday the 16th of October. John Lavenia here with you as I am each week on our Black Diamond event, and just coming off of our Marketing Mastery event here in Las Vegas, which is where I still am right now. I know some of you are already traveling back. Some of you may have flown out actually last night. I've been here in staff meetings all day with Michael Force and Mary D and Dallas and Jason Howell and Ryan Jayton and Morgan and Aaron Parkinson, a lot of people that you got to meet at the event if you were there or if you caught us on the live streaming video broadcast, which was spectacular. I know that a lot of people were sending me feedback via the via Skype and other electronic methods, primarily Skype. People know that if they actually want to talk to me, they hit me on Skype. Don't like email me or anything. But yeah, my friends have me on Skype. So I got a lot of great feedback, and of course, the 1,000 people that I got to meet in person at this event. Many of you, the majority of you, for your first time at a live Digital Altitude event, and we're going to be talking about that here tonight. Usually on the Black Diamond Call, we have either myself or a guest speaker to select a topic. But as is tradition, whenever we are coming off an event, I like to do our first Black Diamond Call with an event special edition, which is what we're going to be doing here tonight. I want to hear from all of you who were with us live or via the live stream about your experience at Marketing Mastery 2017. And so we're going to get into that. This is going to be kind of an open forum, kind of like what we do with our friend Glenn Henderson, who I know is on the line, driving in New Mexico right now with Lily, his guest, who we brought out there to Las Vegas. And like we do each Friday morning, we kind of share the time and hear about what breakthroughs we've had for the week and such. Well, in this case, we're going to be focusing on the event itself. So so if you guys are here, and I know some of you are still here physically in Las Vegas, and you may be out at dinner right now. Hopefully you're not just feeding the slot machines with your money. I suppose you could do that for entertainment, but I guess I'll start with the story, right, about my first time in a casino to attempt to win some money. I wound up taking $40 out of an ATM, putting it in slot machines, lost it all, never went back. So there's my gambling career right there. I realized that the casinos weren't built on winners. But you know what? We did more than do the Vegas thing while we were here. Okay, so I do want to start, and then I'm going to open it up for participation from all of you who are here. We would definitely want your thoughts, your wins, your feedback, and some of the stuff that you got from being here this weekend. But this event was special for me, and I know that may sound interesting to some of you because I've been doing events like this for a long time, right? So in fact, I revealed while at the event one of the reasons why it was so special to me, because it was exactly 15 years ago this weekend that I went to my first ever top-tier direct sales conference. Now, in my case, it was over in the Bahamas, and I was there. Jason Howell, who any of you who were here, you got to hear him speak on Sunday. He was there as well. We were both new in the industry, and this was our first big event. Okay, and this one was like $8,000 to attend, and we were scraping money together for food. I mean, we were newbies, right? And it wasn't like, Vegas prices or anything. Vegas, you can eat on the cheap, right? I didn't see any $9.90 lobster buffets while I was here. This is a nice resort that we were at. But nonetheless, it was exactly 15 years ago that we were at our first event together. And I came home from that event, and I had my first $20,000 plus week, and I quit my job that following week. So this is a very auspicious time of year for me, October. Also, those of you who were there, you got to, 1,000 of you got to sing happy birthday to my daughter, Trinity. Thank you for that, by the way. That was great. She really enjoyed coming up on stage, and of course she wants to be a talent star, some talent show, America's Got Talent or something. But well, I guess we'll look into that more. But so she's getting her stage time, even if she's not the one performing. Mm-hmm. But you guys all performed. And so I wanted to thank you all for making this a special event for me not only because of the timing of it, but because it was the first event for many of you, and the vibe in the room was just incredible. Admittedly, I've been to some events that are better than others. This one was just spectacular, in my opinion. It was the people. Really, that's what it comes down to, is the people. I know I brought this up from stage a few times because for those of you who don't know, I'm also the master of ceremonies for digital altitude events, and I run the shows and all that. But the people that we had there, not just the speakers on the stage, but every one of you who I got to meet, it was like, this is about to explode. This is a group of people who know where they're going and are enthusiastic about it. I've also been to corporate events, right? Events where people kind of were forced to go because their boss or whatever. And of course, being around the speaking world, as long as I've been around it, I've gotten to converse with people who are like keynote speakers for hire, okay, where they go and they're contracted to come to an hour or 2-hour speech, to a group of people at such and such, corporation. And they say it's a completely different kind of a situation when people have to be there versus when, they choose to be there. They are taking time out of their life to be there. It's not just like some obligatory thing that they're going to go do, with their corporation because a corporation wants them to get motivated or something, because currently all they're doing is enough work to not get fired, right? It's totally different when working with entrepreneurs. And this is right out of the mouths of countless speakers for hire, okay, who I've worked with throughout the years. Well, in our case, Marketing Mastery, everyone that spoke is from within our community. We don't need to hire speakers to tell us, what we're doing here with our, digital altitude businesses. But certainly we have outside speakers, experts and such that come in from, for our Ascend and Peak and Apex events. But here with Marketing Mastery, it's completely, by the company, for the company, right, which includes all of you. And I think you all realize, having experienced this, those of you who were there or caught it on the live stream, that this is all about the people. So for me, this was one of the best in terms of the vibe, the attitude, the atmosphere of the event. It was one of the best I've ever experienced in my 15 years now of doing this sort of thing. So I just want to thank you all and acknowledge everyone who participated, again, in this very auspicious event. And guys and gals, I can just tell you, this is just the beginning. Okay, where we're going from here is pretty awesome. Like I mentioned before, I was in the staff meetings today, upper management meeting in this case, with Michael and Mary and all the other department heads here in Digital Altitude, and what they've got planned, not only in my department, which is the live calls and the community and all that, but also in terms of coaching and in terms of the upcoming events, Apex coming up, that's going to be announced very soon. In terms of the various ways that we process and assist with leads, lead generation, lead management, all of this. There's so much going on behind the scenes, guys. It's such a great time to be here in Digital Altitude. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know that, but I'm just telling you what I'm coming out of Vegas with after this weekend. And of course, I come early and I stay late because I'm not on staff and all that. But I get to interact with all of you, and many of you, you've never experienced anything like this before. I'm so glad that you took the time and that this was your first experience of it. Because you know what, guys and gals, Digital Altitude is about 1.5 years in the marketplace now. Started actually, opening its doors in February of 2016. Some of you may not know that, right? Because you may or may not have assumed, that Digital Altitude and all the experience that these people have, we must have been around a long time. Well, we have as individuals, but Digital Altitude as an entity, only 1.5 years in business, right? Of course, it took a year or so for Michael to put it all together. So technically it's a few years old, but still, this is just now coming of age, and I would say we haven't seen anything yet in terms of momentum. Yes, millions of dollars a month in not only in sales but in commissions being paid out, millions of dollars a month, in something that many of you didn't even know existed just maybe a couple of months ago, and some of you a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just very delighted and honored to be a part of this with all of you. Thank you for making my journey this weekend pretty damn spectacular. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop running my mouth, and I want you to start running yours. So let me go ahead and get these lines open here. Here's what we're going to do. Hold on a second. Okay, so what we're going to do is I've got these lines open now, and just like we do on a Friday morning Inside Digital Altitude call, you can unmute your line individually and come on out here and share the stage and talk a bit about your experience, whether that was live and in person or via the live stream as well. I do see a bunch of people here in our chat roll. Welcome to all of you. Yeah, who wants to come out here first? Let's go ahead, hit *6 if you're dialing in with a phone. Of course, if you're just listening on DA live call to the radio feature, you'd actually have to dial in or use the app. I do see we have a couple of open lines. Who would like to jump out here first?
It's just from Los Angeles.
Oh wow. Okay, I heard two voices. One I heard was just Siri, and who else is on deck there?
This is Tracy.
Tracy, okay, great. We'll start with just Siri. I heard you first, and then we'll go to Tracy.
Hey, John. I just want to say that the event was incredible. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. One of the main things I learned was that I need to email my list a lot more often because that's one of the common things that I heard a lot of people talking about. And also a lot of other things, a lot of other actions that I want to take, a lot of things I didn't know about, different sources, different things I wanted to do. So I made me I put a lot of, because I listened to Michael Fort's advice and I downloaded Symbology when I was going through the steps. So when I have ideas, I put into the dream catcher of things I know I want to work on later. So a lot of things I learned from there, I put into there for me to get done in sometime in the future.
Oh, that's great. So you learned about emailing, and that's certainly one of the logistical things, that we consider. Well, how often should I email my list? And I saw that too, when I think it was it Jesse Singh who asked the whole crowd, hey, who here is emailing your list at least every day? Or
yes,
maybe it was, yeah, him or Encore. And then how many of you have been doing that for at least 90 days or whatever the time period was? And it was very, very few hands. And so I think a lot of times, Jasari, people have an assumption about, what is enough, or an assumption that, well, if I email my list every day, maybe that's going to be too much. Maybe people are going to get sick of me or something. But people who are interested in what you've got and what you're doing, and you're able to capture and keep their interest, of course they want to hear from you. And more communication is the answer, not less, right? So that's
right.
A breakthrough right there. If you just implemented that one thing, I wonder what that will do for your conversions moving forward. So,
right.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff, Jasari. Thank you for participating, man. This was really cool. So thank you, and thank you for being here and sharing and coming out here on the call as well. I'm looking forward to seeing you at our upcoming events, my friend.
Me too. Sorry, I was hoping to meet you at this event. I didn't get to meet you. I did get to meet Glenn and a few other people though, but I didn't get to meet you. But maybe on next one I will.
Oh yeah. Well, our next event is looks like it's going to be Apex, and that will be hitting the calendar again soon. And when we get to these marketing mastery events, it's my goal to shake every hand. And you know what? I'll definitely hit that goal by next time. But my goodness, so many great people. And Jasari, of course, I saw you in the crowd there, as I did with everyone. And I get to spend a lot of time backstage, getting ready, for the next speaker and prepping with the microphones and all this. So yeah, just know that that it's all, all hands on deck for you guys. I'm glad you had a great event, Jasari.
All right, thank you.
All right, brother. We'll
Hello.
see you soon. And let's go to who was on deck there.
Hello, this is Greg.
Oh, Greg, we were going to go to, I think it was Tracy was next.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
Hey,
Yes,
John.
she is. Hey, Tracy.
All right, so I watched live, and I just have to totally give a shout out to Nate and a bunch of other technical people because there were a few glitches with being able to view the live stream. But I tell you what, John, I was so impressed like I was really bummed to have some technical issues, but I was so impressed because they were on top of it, like big time on top of it, trying their hardest. Nate was communicating with me via Skype to try and figure out what was going on, and that was just awesome. I mean, just the level of commitment, the communication that they were doing and having with me, trying to get it all figured out, it was awesome. Like it was just great. So huge, huge, huge shout out to everybody who was working to get those things corrected. It was awesome. The other thing that I got from this was, you know, it was so cool to see the event live, like, you know, via live stream, but how much more it would have been to actually literally be there and go through it in person. Like, I totally get how important that is, and I will not miss the next one. So it's so worth it. But there were so many great speakers. Anik, he had some really good things that he said. It was just amazing, and so many things really hit me with what he all had to say. Like, every decision that you make, you got to ask yourself, is this the decision that could lead to my dreams? You know, and are you willing to, if you decide not to go for it, are you okay with, you know, the question of, well, could that have been? So just so many good things with his presentation. It was amazing. Another thing that I got from you, John, was you had made a comment about how you will attract the people that it's right for, and it will repel the people that it's not right for. And that was a takeaway for me too. So many good things. I mean, I could go on and on about all the things that I wrote down and processed and everything, but you guys, like, don't miss these events. They're so powerful, and like I'm so wishing that I could have been there, but do everything you can to get there. You will not regret being there. It's awesome.
That is great. You know, Tracy, I have, and is this my friend Tracy from Nebraska?
Mm-hmm.
It is. You know what,
yes.
Everybody, we need to celebrate Tracy from Nebraska. She just came in at peak just today. So congratulations, Tracy. Awesome stuff. Well done, my friend. And you know what?
Thank you.
Yeah, those the ideas you just brought up here for everyone are things that you know, have been considerations that we've had over time. You know, like what you mentioned from Yannick. Here's a guy who has seized opportunity. Since 16 years old, he's been in online marketing. So he's got a lot of experience even at a young age. And I think a lot of times when we, if we come to an opportunity, any opportunity, you know, later in life, we sometimes have a bit more reservation about things, right? Well, should I, shouldn't I? And that's sort of indecision, you know. And so just the insight of being able to get decisive about stuff and not to just deliberate on it forever. Is this something I'm going to go for? Am I going to do it? Am I going to be decisive? Am I going to have that resolve? That's a great message. While it's not, you know, a technical thing like you know, emailing or, you know, Facebook and stuff like that, it's a foundational thing. And we heard a similar message from Anik Singhal, right? So we got Yannick and we also had Anik Singhal, who's generated about $150 million in sales online. And he too was talking about a lot of the mindset stuff that precedes the business success. And Tracy, I know, because I know you personally, I know that you have that mindset as well, and that you're going for it. And so I am so glad you were able to join us live. And thank you for mentioning the tech people. You know, whenever it comes to like a closed circuit, you know, international live feed, I've never seen one go exactly perfect, but I'm glad to hear that this one was almost perfect, and they got you up and running with whatever tech problems you were experiencing there. You should still have access to those complete files in your back office. Is that the case, Tracy? Could you confirm that? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, I have had some communication with some of the team members via email, and the links that I have currently, I'm still missing Jason Stone's presentation, but I confirmed with one of the team members that the full entire clip, like the whole entire thing, will be available. I'm assuming it's just going to take them a little time to like get it processed and uploaded to wherever they need to. But yes, my impression is that I will be able to still hear Jason Stone's presentation as soon as they have a chance to get it up there. But yeah, we should be able to have access to that. Yes.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, so that's for anyone else who may have had any technical challenge during the, I guess, the Jason Stone portion of it, then you'll be getting access to that shortly. So thank you, Tracy, for handling that. Good stuff. All right, well, so we are going to go on to, I think Greg is waiting in the wings here. Tracy, thanks again for jumping out here. Greg, you're up, sir.
Yes, so I was at the event, and it was fantastic. I mean, very exciting. I met some of the neatest people that I've known in my life, actually. Really, really good. One of the things that really impressed me was with Anik when his presentation. He talked about eliminate the tomorrows. Stop procrastinating, because you lose accountability with yourself. And I think about that. Self-image is really important. What we think of ourselves is so important. And when we don't accomplish the things that we set out to do, or we waste time, we're hurting our self-image, and that hurts us for accomplishing things in the future. So that was really something that hit home with me. And then also, what's your relationship with failure? Have you failed? Because you have to fail to really succeed. And that was another thing that was so big, because I have failed many times. But the key is when you pick yourself up and learn from it. That's the whole idea. He says the second time you fail, that's on you. But I was very excited about everything he said, and really hit home with a lot of what I've been doing. So.
Right now, you were mentioning Anik Singhal.
Yes, Anik Singhal.
Right. Yeah. So again, here's a guy that. He was up to the point where he was making $10 million a year, and then he lost it all. Right? He was and still in his 20s. Right? Had accumulated a bunch of debt, millions of dollars in debt, and had to start over, and of course learn some stuff. And you know what I got from all that, Greg, was the idea that we may blunder, but we can pick ourselves back up. Right, and do things, with wisdom, right, and not make the same mistakes. And so a lot of times people think they're thinking small. They're thinking, well, if I can just get to, $10,000 a month or something. Here's a guy who went way past that, but based on principles which he now knows and better practices. The old saying, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Right, and he's definitely got a solid business running again, and all that. And of course, he's a great friend here of Michael Force and Digital Altitude. So we're really glad that he was able to share some time with us at Marketing Mastery. Again, this event was over the top, Greg, and so glad you were able to. It was. Yeah, I told people on these calls, right, because we were announcing this every day for months. I was like, if this event was $2,000, it's a bargain. Go buy it now. Would you, now that you've experienced it, Greg, would you corroborate that claim?
Absolutely. It's worth far more than that. And, I even went to the breakout session Sunday afternoon with Darren and Rhonda and Unique, and I learned so much. I'm again, drinking out of a fire hose, there's so much. I get back here today, and I'm going, okay, what do I do first? And but it's exciting. I really have accomplished a lot today, but I'm just so excited about getting the things that I need to do. So.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I'll tell you what to do first. Do the thing, or those few things, that will make you the most money in the least amount of time. So,
Right.
so like, what is it that's going to convert? What is it that's going to be the most impactful? A lot of times that we could also answer that question with, what is it that seems perhaps most uncomfortable, or the thing you procrastinated on, or the thing that would be like, wow, I've got a bit of a learning curve here. Okay, well, fine, let's tackle that. And then you don't have to think about it anymore because it's going to make you money. Now you don't have to keep going through the learning curve, right? So in terms of prioritization, yes, it's like drinking out of a fire hose. Pick those things that are most impactful in the least amount of time, and then start developing habits of effectiveness around those. So, yeah, great ideas, Greg. Good stuff, my friend.
That's good.
Great,
Thank you, John.
great seeing you here, man.
Great.
So, thank you for jumping out. Let's go to, I think we got a couple more people. I think one of them is driving right now. Who's driving?
Lily, with Glenn. Can you make
Hey, is that Glenn?
It's Lily.
Lily? Okay. Lily in
Yes, hi.
Glenn's car, it seems. Yes, go ahead, Lily.
Yes. Hi. Before I get started with my experience, I just want to share that I am not part of the Digital Altitude family yet. But after coming to Vegas, I am definitely, as soon as I get home, I'm going to sign up for Aspire, and I'm going to get to it and start 18 steps.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the team. So here is Lily, who was just a guest of Glenn, and you guys are now driving back towards Texas. And you obviously got the vision there, Lily. That is great. And you know what? It's obviously the event itself is for affiliates, it's for members, and you are about to be one. So it sounds like Glenn made a good decision in bringing you out there. Is Glenn there with you now? I think he is.
Yes, he's here with her.
All right. What say you, Glenn?
Well, I would not presume to speak for Lily, but I can definitely tell you that from the first time I met Lily, a little over a year ago, I saw something. I saw a spark, a gleam in her eye, and I thought, this is a woman who is going places. Maybe she's not yet sure exactly where it is she's going, but she's definitely on the move. And so I wanted to share this opportunity and this Digital Altitude family with Lily. I'm just grateful that it's something that has resonated with her.
Awesome stuff, man. And what about you? I know I dragged you on stage there for a minute, and I know you had a bunch of people in the audience who certainly recognized you from your Inside Digital Altitude call. What was your experience at the event?
John, if you don't mind, I know that Lily has something particular she would like to share about her experience. So, ladies first, like Mama taught me, I'm going to let Lily go ahead and share first. That's
okay.
all right.
Lily's still there. I was having a little trouble hearing her. Go ahead, Lily. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Well, I don't remember. Okay, the first day, Michael Boris talked about how him and a couple other coaches met up with a member, and that he had something called a breakthrough, which was when all your emotions that you're feeling inside, and when you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed out, you start bawling. And I had a feeling that was going to happen to me. And the second day, after Jason Hollow spoke, I was actually crying in the audience. And the lady next to me, I noticed she kept looking towards my direction. I was like, oh, please don't look at me right now. And as soon as he's finished speaking, I went to the bathroom and because I remember he said that sometimes that, well, mostly me doing Digital Altitude, I was doing it for myself. And he said that sometimes that's not enough. That's not going to be enough to motivate you. So I go to the bathroom because I was going to call my mom back. She called me while he was speaking, but I was so into his speech that I was like, Mom, you can wait. So I go in the bathroom and I start thinking about my parents and all the sacrifices that they made for me. And I was like, what? Like, what am I thinking? I have to do this for them, So I go to wash my hands, and I can just feel myself about to cry. And I run back into the stall, and I sat there and cried for about 10 minutes, and I put myself together, and I went back inside. And then I waited till it was over, and I went back to my hotel room, and I cried some more. And it felt really good, and the reason why I cried was because, well, obviously because Jason was crying, and I'm very empathetic towards people, so it really touched me, his story, and also because I want to be one of those people that one day speaks to people and motivates them and inspires them, and I knew that for me to be able to do that, I'm afraid to do, which
Sounds like we're losing Glenn and Lily. Sorry about that, everybody.
One moment, John. John, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. You may have lost a little bit of what Lily was saying. Basically, what she was sharing.
I can't hear anything.
The emotions that came through from Jason Howell touched Lily at a very, very deep level. And she had her own breakthrough, her own moment of realizing that to build her digital altitude business just for herself is not enough. And following a conversation with her mother, she now realizes that she wants to be one of those people to step out on stage and inspire others and encourage others to reach their breakthrough and break through to new victories in their own lives, just as she has.
That's beautiful. Well done, Lily. And you know what? What a great place to get your start and to start carrying that message in a way that's pragmatic and effective in people's lives. And Lily, if anything we can do to assist you, I know you've got a great mentor there with Glenn, and I'm expecting to see you at all our events and have you on my calls and on our stage in very short order. Lily, welcome to the team, my friend. Great stuff. Great stuff. Glenn, thank you for recovering that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
If you don't mind, I will go ahead and share a couple of thoughts quickly of my own following this event.
Okay.
First, it was an absolute joy for me to meet so many of our Digital Altitude family, particularly in the case of, so many people who have joined us on the calls over these months, and I finally got to put names and put faces with the voices, and that was just fantastic to connect and have moments with so many people. I'm looking forward to doing that at all of the upcoming Digital Altitude events. One and this is my last thing, I'll leave you with this. The one thing said from stage that stuck with me and continues to inspire and motivate me going forward is something that Ryan Jayton said during his talk. He used a very particular phrase, and no, it wasn't in the Chinese because I don't speak Mandarin, sorry, so I won't go there. What he said was, don't come this far just to come this far. And I'm telling you, the man lit a fire under me with those 9 words. Don't come this far just to come this far. Don't start your journey. And I share this with the rest of my team, my family here. Our journey is just beginning. And I need to keep in mind and keep in my heart that this journey never ends. This journey of personal development, this journey of learning and improving my performance and the performance of my team in this top tier in this top tier direct selling space, in this digital marketing space. We have no idea what's coming. As you said yourself, John, in the meetings that you had with the DA upper management, I can't wait to see what's coming down the pike for each of us, for me and for my team, and I'm ready to absolutely hit the ground at home and keep on running, and I will see you and all of our DA family at the very next event. Thanks. Back to you, John.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Glenn. And again, thank you, Lily. Glad you were able to not only be there, but also to tune in from somewhere in the middle of the desert there in New Mexico. Glad we were able to get your signal back. So great stuff. I did have to mute Hassan. So Hassan, I'm going to go ahead and unmute your line. I know we've got a few other people who've got their lines open. Hassan, were you looking to jump out here? Hassan, are you there? Hassan may have muted himself. Okay, so who else would like to jump out on our call today?
Yeah, it's Ray.
Hey, Ray, how are you?
I'm awesome. How about you?
I'm great, man. Glad to be here. And what was your experience?
Well, I've been in and out of network marketing since about 1985, so it just shows my age. And I've been in the online segment for the last 3 years. So I've been to a lot of events. And the one thing that struck me about this one was the lack of rah-rah. It was business. It was, you know, with the ancillary people that they had in there, like Terry McDonald from Retire Happy, Brian Anderson from Voice Drops, the people from Oak Tree, Clixley, you know, which is even part of the company. It was stuff to help you move along. It just wasn't, you know, hey, we're great, you know, this is what it's all about. You know, it was pure how to do it. And with the one thing that really got me was the Rising Star panel. Because those were new people. I've been in with DA now for 4 months. And to hear their stories on how within 6 months they're reaching $25,000, $30,000 a month was very inspirational.
Yeah, that's great stuff, you know.
And the final thing was, at the end, when Michael brought up the staff, all the support people, the corporate people, and his family, you got a feeling that this company has a heart and it is a family. And I was told beforehand that there was no family within DA, but this definitely proved there was.
Well, great stuff, Ray. And you know, the one of the things that two things there. The one you just said about the family. Again, it's about the people that are here.
Yep.
That's one lesson that I learned. Very expensive lesson that I learned some years ago, is that more important than what you do is who you do it with. And so that's a very powerful factor that you obviously you recognize there for yourself. But the second thing you mentioned is that it was not a rah-rah session. And I know Glenn, who we just heard from, also has spent a lot of time around the home business world. And, you know, a lot of things that pass for company conventions are kind of like, I don't know, rallies or something. I'm not interested in going to a pep rally. I'm plenty motivated. My goodness, I used to work a 70-hour per week job, so I was never lacking motivation. But how to do stuff and like put myself on the right path and making the decisions that are going to move me forward. That's what this is about, right? So if you want to get motivated, I mean, we got some great books we can recommend, and you can go watch the secret video and whatever. But as far as like marketing, you mentioned some of these ancillary speakers that were brought in. These are people who have solutions for marketers, and so I'm glad about that. I mean, it's, again, very pragmatic things you can take and act on immediately. So you know what I'm looking forward to, Ray? I'm looking forward to you being on that next Rising Star panel. Why not you? Right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I was impressed. I mean, I've known John Oakes now for a couple of years, and the fact that he won 2 awards and that 2 of his people also were right up there with the new sign-ups was very impressive.
Oh, yeah. So not just himself, but also people on his team. You know what? We got to get John Oakes. John, if you're listening, we got to get you out here on a Black Diamond call. Not next week, because next week's already booked, but maybe the week after that. That would be just awesome, and to share John and a bit of his experience with everyone here throughout the entire company. So, hey, Ray, thanks again, man. Thank you for being here.
Oh,
for
thank
being
you.
at our event. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now I think we do have our next caller is Hassan. Hassan, are you with us?
I am with you. I just enjoyed the live stream. It was awesome, and I learned a lot, and I am already applying some of it. And that's about all I have to say.
Okay, short and sweet. Hassan, thank you for tuning into the live stream. I'm glad you were able to make it, even though you were not able to be with us live in person in Vegas, but definitely make the next one. As our friend Tracy in Nebraska was saying, that you know, it's kind of like being at the Grand Canyon. You know, a lot of people have seen pictures of the Grand Canyon, which is nice, right? Nice pictures, very nice. Once you're there in person, though, it's a whole different experience. I spent 10 years in Arizona, so I know the Grand Canyon. But Hassan, thank you for participating and for getting what you came here to get through that live stream event. Great stuff. We got time for a few more, though. Who else would like to jump out here on the Black Diamond call tonight? Peggy.
Peggy from Iowa.
Peggy. How you doing, Peggy?
I had some MOs that I wanted to accomplish, and I got to speak to Dion for a moment, and I'm real okay with my brand now, and because he explained it's me. It's about me. It has nothing. It's not about digital altitude. It's not about what I'm selling. My brand is me. So that was really cool. But when we were figuring out what time to catch the shuttle and all that kind of stuff, there was 3 of us, and we didn't know each other. And we ended up going to lunch, and we sat in that booth. They let us sit there for probably 3 hours, and I learned so much because of Lois shared a whole lot and said, this is what I think is the most important thing, you know, is what I've discovered, and go to YouTube. You don't understand anything. They'll explain it. They'll walk you through how to do this, how to do, anyway, so I'm not being fast here. But anyway, it was an amazing event. I came home with $2 and some quarters and nickels and pennies, and I didn't spend a penny gambling, and I was proud of myself for that. So that was all.
Well, congratulations, Peggy.
It was wonderful.
That's great. And yeah, you know what, you're mentioning sort of the meeting after the meeting, right? Little impromptu breakout sessions and stuff. I'll tell you, I learned some stuff in a breakout session, which was totally unplanned. I just wound up having dinner with one of our top earners and presenters, and they were talking to me about some strategies that I had never even considered. And because, you know, how much you can't like give decades of experience in a, you know, a 20-minute speech on stage. But, you know, when you sit down with people and you start to get, you know, deeper into some of these topics, that's obviously just one of the other benefits of being, you know, at the resort, you know, at the main venue where it's happening. You know, some of these meetings go all night. Of course, I couldn't go all night because I had to be up and in the gym and then on stage and all that. But just getting to meet with so many of you was just a delight. So, Peggy, glad you were here. So glad. And of course,
I am so glad.
Yeah.
The world, and I hate Vegas.
Right.
I'm one of those that hate Vegas.
Well, we were off strip, right? It's not like we're going here for a drunken, you know, debauchery or something. But
right.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was great. Didn't matter where we were.
Yeah. Well, Vegas, I understand what you mean by that comment. And you know what? Vegas has its good points as well, like venues like this. By the way, everyone, this resort was awesome. I mean, everything. In fact, my daughter, not only was it aesthetic, right, with all the woodworking and the very classy place, like a ranch kind of a place, but very opulent. But also my daughter had a birthday here, and we had my daughter as well as Michael Forrest and Delilah and their kids, and my wife had ordered a birthday cake at one of these cafes that are, you know, right off of the casino, and they made her a beautiful cake and decorated it for her and put the candles and did the whole thing. It was very service oriented, you know, and a lot of times we think of Las Vegas as like you know, just the strip, but no, that's just a part of it. So yeah, we were not there. So thanks again, Peggy, for sharing. So looking forward to seeing you at our next event as well. And
it was definitely a 5-star place.
Yeah, oh yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. So very good. We're going to go on to our next caller. Looks like we've got another open line here. Is that Greg? Okay, maybe not. All right, who else would like to share? You can go ahead and come on out here right now by clicking *6 if you're dialing in with a phone, or by clicking your mute button if you are on the free conference call app. And of course, if you're just listening on the radio feature, there's nothing to click because you have an active microphone. So you need to dial in if you want to share. We do have a few minutes left. If anybody else would like to come out here, now would be the time to do so. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm talking a little bit more subdued than I usually am, no, I haven't lost my voice. I'm just here, and my wife is working in the other part of the room, and we're sharing our workspace right now. Usually I'm in my own office and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, but I'm not doing that here tonight. Who else is with us who would like to share? One more call? Who else?
Hi, my name is Latoya.
Hey, Latoya, how are you?
I'm good. So I was actually at the event this weekend, and I have to tell you, even right now, just pressing the *6, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified to do this, right? I'm not on the app, so I can't see all the people that's on the thread and commenting, but it's still fearful, right? You're talking to a room full of people, even though you don't see them. So excuse my rambling. But at the conference, there were so many powerful, powerful things. But the one that I kind of, and believe me, I thought all of them were awesome, from Saturday on to Sunday. But today I received the, email asking, for my, how did I think the event went, and, what are my suggestions for next year. I actually put that next year, I believe, like for every MME event, they should have Jason close it out. He is so motivational. His story, everything about him is just awesome. And I think when he got up there and he spoke, and he's very relatable. He was with the crowd. I just really, everything about him, I totally appreciated. And even after MME was over, I was one of the lucky ones. I'm part of Darren, Rondon, and Unique's team. So they have like a separate breakout session. And he walked in there, and I was like, you know what, this is your chance, this is your moment. And I actually just looked at him and smiled, and he walked right over to me and shook my hand. It was like a moment of awe, like a superstar just walked up to you, Everyone there was so nice and so welcoming. If you can get to an event, I totally recommend that you go, because like I said, I'm very outspoken and, Miss Know-It-All, but that's what things that I know, right? Marketing, this is something new for me. So I don't know it. So I'm a little timid and I'm a little unsure. But being in a room full of people who know what they're talking about, and not only do they know what they're talking about, but they want to help you get on their level, that was awesome. I've never been a part of anything like that. Ever.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the things that I knew was going to happen, and I'm glad you brought it up, and that is the removal of barriers between, let's say, a new person who, may be looking at some top earner as, on a pedestal or something. And certainly they've accomplished, some special things, but that doesn't mean that they're so much different than you that, you can't do it too, or that, they're somehow, elite, behind the velvet ropes and they're untouchables. That's back when I was in experimenting with like multi-level marketing and other, like home-based business network marketing kind of stuff, where people who were making like $20,000 a month, which isn't even a lot of money in our world, but even that would be considered like, some celebrity or something. And you can't talk to them, right? You're not in that crowd. And we don't have that here. Michael Force is walking through, and, here's a guy who's made over $10 million doing this. Jason Howell, myself, we got started on the same day. as I mentioned to you from stage, Jason Howell is my brother in the business. We both got started on the same day. We both went to our first event. It was the same event, and we both came as newbies and left as leaders. And I think you just had that same experience. So welcome. This is just the beginning for you and for all of us here. Think about this.
Awesome.
This is something where not only do we never stop learning, because like I already mentioned, I've learned from people even after the event and talking to people who have different techniques and methods than what I have employed. But also the breakthroughs that I'm witnessing and I'm watching right before my eyes, the breakthroughs that people were having, profound, palpable even. So thank you for coming and having that experience. And you know what? You attracted the guy you wanted to talk to in person. There he was, right? And so that's the kind of accessibility that I enjoy when I was new, and that I still enjoy, and that you're now getting that as well. So yeah, guys, you know what? Get to every event you possibly can get to. And in my case, I've lost count how many events I've been to in the last 15 years, ever since that first one. So thank you again for being here. Great stuff. All right, so let's see here. We have just a few minutes until the top of the hour. Anybody else who wants to jump out, now is your chance to do so. *6, or click your unmute button. Last call. We'll take one more. Anybody else who wants to come out here today? Last call. And with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap up. I'm not hearing anybody. We'll go ahead and wrap. Oh, who is that?
It's Ray. I just want to come back with one other thing.
Yes, sir.
When you go to an event, don't go as a regular participant. Go as a VIP. The company definitely knows how to take care of their people with the snacks that they had, but the party they had, the costume party on Saturday night was outrageous. And it was
I will pass that along to Mary D. That was her baby. In fact, we broke for dinner. That was Saturday. I remember that, right? We broke for dinner. I had dinner with my family, and I was like, oh, all right, we're probably going to have hors d'oeuvres or something at the VIP event. So I ate, and I'm all full. And then I showed up at the VIP party there, and they had they were cutting roast beef, and they had the waitresses walking around with the hors d'oeuvre trays, and it was food. There's the bar, right? And I was like, my goodness, should I have second dinner? And no, I just couldn't eat it. But yeah, what a spread. Great stuff. My daughter had a blast too. They were throwing the paint eggs, right, where you got the plastic eggs filled with, we were doing like modern art, and they had the karaoke thing or whatever, the video where people are dressed up like superheroes. And Mary always has these fun theme parties that she likes to throw. So yeah, I'll pass that on to her as well. So thanks again, Ray. So much that we could talk about here from this event.
Yeah.
Guys, just be at every event, like we were just talking about. Just be there. So we're going to go ahead and wrap. We're going to go ahead and wrap up with that. Again, I am so excited to have had this experience with all of you. And again, for those of you who joined us on the live stream, thank you for participating in whatever capacity you could. That was what a great event. So we're going to be back here on our DA live call and webinar system tomorrow morning with our friend Joel for our wake-up call. In the meantime, guys, have a great night. And I'm going to be flying out tomorrow after the wake-up call back to the homestead there in Utah. But from wherever you are, it's been my pleasure to serve you in this capacity as your call host, but also as your master of ceremonies at these live events as well. You guys inspire me every day, and so looking forward to hearing more from each and every one of you as you continue to build momentum and grow your business here inside Digital Altitude. I'm seeing a lot of comments in the chat roll. Thank you all for participating. Catch us back here, 9 a.m. Eastern. Was it 9 or no? It's 10. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern U.S. time tomorrow morning. We'll see you back here for the wake-up call. Have a great night, everyone. Bye for now.